Hi Stats class, it's Miss O'Neill. I'm going over question number 2 on your Using Quadratic Formula Assignment 2 worksheet. In this situation, we have our quadratic equation set equal to 0, and it follows standard form of x squared, x, and then a number, which means A, B, and C are right in order for us. We're going to use A, which is an imaginary 1, B, which is a -4, and C, a positive 1, to replace all of the letters inside of our quadratic formula. Our first letter is going to be a B, so we write in -4. Then we have another B, -4, A is 1, C is 1, and then last but not least, A is 1 as well. Once you've replaced all of your values inside of your quadratic formula, you are going to be simplifying the quadratic formula. And there's 3 main spots. First spot is right here before the plus and the minus. A -4, it's going to be a +4. And a quick trick for yourself, if the equation had a -b in there, it's always going to want the opposite sign. So if my b is -4 in the equation, when I plug it into the quadratic formula, it's going to be the opposite, which is a +4. So I would double check that. That's usually the one spot that people tend to make errors in. Carry down your plus and your minus. As you can tell, my square root is dramatically smaller because what I'm doing is focusing just on this part. I don't want to use the square root symbol at all until the very end, after I've already simplified the information underneath. So if I go to my calculator and I type in -4 squared, make sure you use those parentheses, -4 times 1 times 1, I will get out a 12. And then 2 times 1 is 2. This right here is an answer, but it is not an answer in simplest radical form, meaning this radical right here, the square root, can be broken down a little bit more. To do that, you pull out your perfect square list. You are trying to think, what number can I pull out of 12 from this list that will be a factor? So we start thinking, 16 is too high, so go backwards. 12 divided by 9 is a decimal, can't use that one. 12 divided by 4, 4 times 3 gives me 12, so that looks good. And then obviously 1 and 12 is going to work for me. You are always going to choose the larger of the perfect square options. Square root of 4, square root of 3. Square root of 4, according to my calculator, would give me a value of 2. Leave the square root of 3 behind. Now that I know how square root of 12 is broken up into, we can simplify that entire answer a little bit more. Because I have taken out the excess inside of my square root of 12, I can now simplify 4, 2, and 2. Before, since there's nothing in front of here except for a hidden value of 1, you could not just do the 4 and the 2. You'd have to make sure that all 3 pieces can be divided. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 2 would be a 1. And then you put the square root of 3 behind. If you wanted to, you could have just left it as 2 plus or minus square root of 3. And those are your 2 answers for question number 2 on assignment 2.